This video goes over how to pause and how to enable campaigns in AdWords. So when you log into AdWords, you're going to see this dashboard here. This covers all of our campaigns, all of our accounts, everything. What you want to do to pause or enable is go into this campaigns tab on the left here, and you can filter out just the client that you want to pause or enable for, instead of having all of them listed here and having to sort through visually. And then you can pause, turn them on, and so forth. So, for instance, if Service Care has gone over their budget, you let Nate know and he says, yes, go ahead and pause them for the rest of the month. You're going to note it up here, over budget, paused on this day, enable beginning of the month, and make that red. And then you're going to come in here to AdWords, and we want to find Service Care only. So you can close this filter out because this is showing that it's filtering only Callahan's campaigns. So you can X that out. Now it clears all the filters, and this shows everyone. You're going to click on Add Filter, and you will have saved filters here for each client. So we'll click on Service Care. It just happens to be at the top there. And this is going to show all the campaigns, all the different ad campaigns for Service Care. So if we want to pause all of them, we can just check mark right here and it selects all of them. And we're going to click on this drop down, edit, and we're going to hit pause. We don't really want to pause them, so I'm not going to do that right now. If you only need to pause, say, one, you can just click on this edit button right here, and you can pause, or when you're ready to turn it back on, click enable, and it'll think for a second, and you can see it turn green, so you know it's on, but we don't really want it on, so we're going to hit pause again. So this column shows you if it's on or off. This column shows you typically the city name. So Birmingham, Hoover, Homewood, Irondale, all of those have campaigns. So if somebody searches appliance repair Hoover, this Hoover ad will pop up. You can also see that we have Hoover PM, Hoover AM, Hoover all day normal. There are only two, I believe, that are set up like this Service Care and Appliance Repair Specialist, the service campaigns. You never want the AM PM ads to be on at the same time as the all day ads. These AM PM ones say in the headline that they can offer same day service or next day service. These don't say that. So if these were on at the same time, they say conflicting things pretty much. So that's why we never want AM, PM to be on at the same as all day normal per city. You can see that they obviously didn't want Irondale to be running. They haven't wanted them running for a while. So all of those are paused. They are over budget. You can see on the data studio sheet here that they are a couple $100s over. But you can see Alexandra noted here yesterday she checked with Nate and it says over but length run through end of the month. Sometimes he'll tell you to do that. Some clients are okay with spending a little more than their allotted budget, so that's fine, but most of them we do pause when they hit the budget. All this stuff over here you don't really need to worry about right now. Let's look at another one that doesn't have these AM PM ads. So this is Sharper Service Solutions. You can see it lists a couple of the cities or campaigns, and then it says it has 23 more in addition to these. And you can see these, some are paused, some are enabled. So in your data studio sheet, you should have a note up here somewhere. You can see it says Irondale paused till further notice, and then AM PM on till further notice. So whatever is in the notes up here, the top are going to be kind of your overall notes to yourself or from whoever passed it on to you. So let's see what Sharper says. Okay, so you can see up here, pause, TFN is till further notice. Issaquah, Kent, Renton, Auburn, and Puyallup. So all of those cities should be paused. So that's what you're going to see here. Kent, Issaquah, Renton, Puyallup. We need to note that Salem is paused in the Data Studio sheet, and Auburn. Unless they just pause this one, I'm not sure. Salem and Gresham enabled. Pause Salem per client till further notice. So I would probably put Salem up here with these guys, just so we know, because you can see that was kind of confusing to be like, well, why is this one paused? So we'll put Salem up here as well, because this could be for months and months or a year. Maybe they don't service that area anymore, so that's why we put it up there, just because it could be long term that those are paused. Okay, so to create a filter, what you're going to do, they don't go, you can see this is my account, my face, my login. You're going to have your own account. The filters that I already have here are not going to show up in your AdWords, unfortunately, in your list. I'm pretty sure they're not. So what you'll have to do is create filters for each of your clients that you're monitoring. So we are going to create one, and you're going to scroll down until you see accounts. You're going to click on that. Let's say we want to create one for, let's think of one I don't already have a filter for. Okay, so let's create one for Desert Tech. So what you're going to do under account search, you can actually close out all of these so that they don't get included in your filter. Whatever you select over here, it's going to add over here, and then you'll apply it. So start typing in the client's name. Desert Tech shows 3 accounts. You just want to double check that these are all indeed for Desert Tech. And it looks like they've got a couple different things. So if you see something that doesn't have a city out by it, you probably don't need it in a filter. It's probably an old one. So you're going to hit apply, and let's see what we come up with. Okay, so these all look like ones we would want to add. They all have cities or types, so that looks correct. If it doesn't have a city or type or specify anything, if it comes up here and it just says Desert Tech, you don't want to add that to your filter, so you can remove that up here. You can go back in here and remove that one. But those all look good. So we've got only Desert Tech stuff here. We're going to come over here to save, and you can call it whatever you typically call it. We typically go say DT for Desert Tech for them. So we'll save. So now if we close this out, if we come in, 2 weeks from now, we can come here and we should be able to find DT. For Desert Tech, click on it, and you can see it only brings up Desert Tech clients. That way you don't have to sift through everything. So you'll want to make one of those filters for each client that you're going to be monitoring. Again, you'll just click here to select all and turn them on or off, or you can do them individually right here. Make sure you note in here each time you pause or turn them on, just so you know, because it's going to be a lot. You might forget. If one of us asks you, hey, this campaign is paused, why is it paused? If we don't remember or we weren't sure, then you'll be able to look at these notes and say, oh, you told me to pause it 2 days ago because they were overbooked. Okay, cool. Another thing you're going to want to keep in mind is holidays. We will give you this rotating task that shows a reminder to pause or turn on your clients on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Easter, Christmas, all the typical holidays that companies might be closed for. So this will just pop up on your Asana task list, I believe a day or two before the holiday, usually the day before, to remind you to check and see if they're closed or open. So, say Christmas pops up. Typically, everybody's closed on Christmas, but just double check. The holiday hour sheet is right up here. Right here. So you're just going to click on that, and that will take you to an Excel sheet that shows closed or open or shortened hours for every client that runs PPC. So if Caesars is one of your clients, you can see here it's Christmas, they're closed on Christmas, so I am going to, Christmas Day, I'm going to pause their ads so they're not running ads and wasting money on Christmas when they're not even open. So in order to stay ahead of everything, we do all this pausing and enabling for holidays the night before. So Christmas is on, you can see 12/25/2019, same day every year. So on 12/24, we're going to pause ads for Christmas. However, Caesars is closed on 12/24 also. So actually on 12/23 in the evening before you clock out, you're going to go into AdWords, pause all of Caesar's ads so that they're paused for the 24th and the 25th. And then at the end of the day on the 25th, you can go into AdWords and turn them back on so that they're on, ready to go when Caesars opens in the morning. Since we're all in different time zones and all our clients are in different time zones, in California, we don't want to wait till we clock in at 8 o'clock in California. It's 11 o'clock for our Tampa client, and we're just turning their ads on when they wanted them on at 8 a.m. That way, too, you don't have to get up at 5 a.m. our time and turn them on so they're on at 8 a.m. their time. If you do it the night before, nobody's thinking they're getting appliance repair at midnight or whatever. If you could just do it the night before you clock out in the evening, then that'll make sure they're ready to go and on in the morning. If you're told to pause a campaign or all campaigns for a client because they went over budget, like Service Care you saw was over budget, if we had been told to pause that campaign if they didn't want to spend any more, we'd note it there obviously and let it stay paused till the end of the month if they did want it paused, and then the last day of the month before you clock out, you want to go in and turn them all back on so they're ready to go when their budget is re-upped again. You don't want to wait till the first day of the month, again, because of the time zone thing. So do it on the last day of the month before you clock out.